Tandem Nomads, episode 49.
I love helping people. If I would not be helping people, I would be sad. I would feel lonely because you are alone when you create a company. So I'm just trying to surround myself with this positive energy.
Welcome to Tandem Nomads, where inspiring expat partners from around the world share with you how they turn the challenges of relocation into great opportunities. So are you following your partner abroad for his or her career? Then Tandem Nomads is the place for you. Go to tandemnomads.com and sign up for the newsletter.
Hello, Nomad Nation. This is Amel Deraghi. Our guest today is Bérengère Ferrier. She is an expert in marketing communications and will share with us today some great tips on how to establish a business and find your first clients when you just arrive in a new country. Bérengère, are you ready for the ride?
Yes, hi.
Hey! Nomad Nation, I have to tell you that I consider Bérengère a little bit as a mentor, as she is the first one who introduced me to the world of advertising in France, where I had started my career. I met her in a youth leadership NGO that is called GCI, Junior Chamber International, where we were both actually volunteering. I was soon graduating from my MBA when she offered me to join for an internship the renowned agency called Saatchi and Saatchi that she was working for. Thanks to her, I had learned so much and I could launch my career in advertising. So over the years, we also became very good friends. Bérengère worked for Saatchi and Saatchi in the city of Lyon in France for over 6 years and successfully managed major global brand advertising campaigns. When her boyfriend had a great job opportunity and was offered to move to California, despite the successful career Bérengère was having, she didn't hesitate to quit her job and join her boyfriend in this adventure. When she arrived in LA in 2013, she started doing some freelancing and her pool of clients has rapidly grown. Today, she has her own agency in strategy and marketing advising. Her company is called Créavilia. Additionally to her agency, Bérengère also co-founded the French Cluster, that is a pool of experts that help French individuals and entrepreneurs settle their new life or their business in California. So Bérengère, I tried to summarize your life in few words. Is there anything there missed? And tell us what's happening in your life now.
First, Abel, thank you very much for this beautiful introduction. I'm so proud that being someone who inspired you. So I'm really glad. And thank you again.
You're very welcome. Thank you, Bérengère.
Yeah. Here now, I'm still working and developing my company in Los Angeles. And I am at this moment where I have a lot of proposals to do and more work to do also. So yeah, I will soon have to decide maybe to hire someone to grow more. So that's good news. But I did that from scratch. That's the interesting part of this story.
Yeah.
Is that
this is why you're here, honey?
No. Yeah, it just began easily with the first easy client, so I was lucky. But then after I had to develop a clientele to network, meet people. So it's not easy at first sight. You have to keep being motivated and always trust what you do. But I was lucky because, as you said, I had a lot of methods from my my former experience at Saatchi and Saatchi. I have been lucky, like you, but I have been lucky too to be trained by my former boss, and so I had a lot of methods when I arrived in the United States. So I had something to sell, and even if I was French person coming into the United States, trying to do marketing, and I felt so humbled when I arrived because it's marketers are mainly American people at the beginning, I guess. The best brands in the world, like Coca-Cola, this kind of brands, are American brands. So, when you arrive here, you listen, you observe, you trying to find, your place, your position, your positioning as a consultant is not easy when you don't know the codes, the rules. So yeah, it's been a really nice and interesting path during these 2 years.
Before we go into the details of all the things that you've learned and you actually implemented when you arrived to develop your agency and get to the point today where you have so many clients that you have to expand, tell us, when your boyfriend came, you're married now actually.
Yes.
But at the time when your boyfriend came to you and told you, oh, I might have this opportunity. So what went through your head? What were the risks that you were evaluating, and what made you take the decision, okay, I'm going to leave this great job and just go and try something that I've never done before in a country I don't know, and where actually there's many other experts who do exactly what I'm doing?
Yeah. The risk is everything. You are deciding to quit everything, so you are risking everything. But at the same time, when you are young, like we were, like more than 30 years old, but not so old. So we didn't have any children yet. We didn't buy any apartment yet. So we were free of all these constraints. So we could go and we could fail and we could come back. The only regret I would have is that I had to quit my job, and that was a really interesting one. So it was not an easy choice to do. But after I did that, I said maybe there's a risk we can take together, because when you're together, you feel stronger,
Very good point. Very good point. I think you do need to have a strong relationship to be able to take the leap, right?
Yeah, and also I told myself, and I was totally right, that it's a good experience to live in a couple when you do that, because we will know if we are meant to be together the whole time, because it's such a strong experience. You are living such, I don't know, but transforming moments that, and sometimes it's really tough. So yeah, it's better to be with someone you trust, and you see that if it is someone you can spend your life with or not, to be honest, because so the risks were really high for us, because we were together for 4 years, so it was not so long. So we would be risking maybe our couple life or professional life. So, but we did, and we don't regret it. Mm-hmm. The advice I have to give, maybe it's to be prepared. When we decided to move abroad, then I began to look for a job. I wanted, to begin to have a network there, so I won't be alone. And I did well, because when I arrived, I had already a few people I could connect with, and they helped me a lot.
That's a very good point that you bring here. Actually, it was one of my first questions that I wanted to know. What did you exactly do before you left to prepare your move to California?
Beside the fact of, managing all the legal stuff, like the visas and everything, I strongly prepared this experience while I was still working, so it's not so easy, but during the evenings and the weekends, I prepared to arrive. When I arrived, I wanted to have a few contact points, people I could trust, people I could ask for information, and it worked. So I contacted, for example, when I was in France, in all my network, like my friends, my family, cousins, professional connections, I asked most of the people, do you know someone living in Los Angeles or California or United States? I could interview just to know how they are living the life there, the advices they would have for me. Do they know good agencies there? I also told my former boss if he could help me to, send my resume through the network of the advertising group I was working for, so they could help me maybe find a job there. I connected with everyone I could before.
That's
And
a very good point. Yeah.
yeah, and I used any connection I had that could be interesting. And so
So basically, it's laying the ground so that when you arrive, you don't start waking up in the morning wondering where to start. As soon as you were there, you already knew who were the people to meet with and who could really help you reach your goals there.
Yeah, and I did interviews like by phone, and I wrote. I don't know if, but I wrote notes, all my notes, because we have interviewed really, really interesting people, like two couples who lived in LA for 2 years, and that was really interesting to hear what they had to say. Like, for example, about all the practical stuff you need to know about the driver lessons, the healthcare insurance. The rules, I don't know, but when you drive your car or whatever, but things that when we arrived, we were well prepared.
Very good.
We were not surprised or some cultural differences or, administration way of working. We were prepared.
What were your goals before you left? Did you have clear idea of what you wanted to do? Or were you just let me see if I can get a job and see where it takes me? Did you have some clear goals?
Yeah, I didn't have some clear goals. That made me lose maybe 6 months. Maybe the first reason is maybe I needed time for myself.
Yeah.
Because after many years in advertising, I just took time to live and time, to get the friends and the family coming to visit us and discover the town, the city, all the surroundings. I just enjoyed my time here when I arrived. Yeah. It's just, if you move abroad just to work and be sad, just stay at home. So,
exactly.
Of course, we moved with my husband's work. So he was working, but we had time, the evenings and the weekends, and we took time together to, just relax and think about the future. And then I began to ask myself what I'm going to do. Do I want to work again in an advertising agency? Do I want to create something? Do I want to work in another domain? And the tricky part is that when you have too many choices, it's hard to make a choice.
I know what you mean.
Yeah. So, and I think I'm not the only one. Yeah. So that's why I began to apply to advertising agencies, for example, doing applications. But then I realized it was not my, biggest dream, because they had huge hours for work. I would end the day at 11 p.m., midnight, work on the weekends. It was not the life I expected here in California. So I quickly moved to maybe other ideas, maybe starting something on my own. After all, I had this first easy client at the beginning, so I could develop more, find other startups that could trust me and hire me for advising about strategy and marketing. Why not? So I began to network in this startup universe. That was really interesting for me because it was completely different from what I knew in France. So I was discovering new profiles of people, new technologies, new projects. It's really passionate, interesting. And I found others. So, it gave me more confidence to move on and to continue to find them.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up. And I think I would like to summarize in a few points what you just said here that's very important. And I think every single expat partner I've been talking to does mention this important first step, which is not necessarily actually having goals, but knowing what we want for ourselves. And it's important to spend the time to figure out that before even doing anything. And you did take the time for yourself to discover yourself, to enjoy yourself, and slowly figure out what you really wanted to do. And that's a very, very good first point that you mentioned. And the way you did it was by, contacting first the areas you were familiar with, which is the advertising world, and slowly adventure yourself to other things and find out if you would be interested in other things. And you took the time to discover what was the thing that you made you happy and thrive in it, which field, and you discovered the startup world. And then the second, what you've said, is the importance of networking. Very soon, after you've started figuring out some ideas of what you could do, you started networking to meet with people and ask them questions. And this is a very good point too, I think. Networking is one of the first things that I believe is important to do when you arrive in a new place. So I wanted to know if you had some tips in how did you start networking with people and finding all these groups of people and making real connections with them.
Tips is looking into meetups, because meetups, you just subscribe to meetups, you choose a theme, a subject you like, and you RSVP, and then you go there and you meet with people, and usually you connect with some of them that are maybe committed to other associations. So that's how I came to be a member of National Association of Women MBA. That's how I came to be a member of Create Leadership, founded by a coach, a business coach, but it's a real network with conferences and everything. You just go where your interest is. So I love networking with entrepreneurs in IT. So I found this association, Create Leadership, for example. It's Women in Digital. So it's really interesting to meet entrepreneurs or developers or sometimes just investors in IT, and it's only women. So I've been to some French networks, but I don't recommend doing just that.
Yeah, like not sticking to only people from your country.
Yeah, it's better when you live abroad that you try to discover local associations.
And when you met people for the first time, you had just arrived. How would you introduce yourself?
It's really easy, Amel, because given my name, when I say my name is B and I don't understand why, I say because it's Bérengère. So okay, so where are you from? And then there is just an easy way to find how to start a conversation. Once you've got it, you can speak of anything else. The connection is done. You just need to find, a first point, a first approach.
Yeah. So you managed to create these relationships. It was quite easy for you to just connect. But then how did you get to the point to interest people on a business side of this? You went from networking, and now you have all these organizations around you, associations that you're a member of. You built your network. Now that your network is there, how did you transform that into business opportunities and getting your first clients?
My answer is really simple, is I try to help people. When you try to help people, because it's my nature, and I can do business just trying to sell something, because I don't like selling, to be honest. So I'm just trying to help. So that means when I meet someone, instead of wanting to, saying that, I created my strategy and marketing advising company, and do you need marketing? I don't go that way. I make people speak about themselves, because I love that, hear new stories, and I see how I can help them by connecting them maybe with another person I know. And I've been doing that since I arrived, because as I said, when I arrived, I had connected a few people here. When I arrived, they helped me. So I'm trying to give back because they helped me a lot. So every time I meet someone new that is interesting, that is, trying to develop something, whatever, I'm just trying to know how I can help this person. Just maybe sometimes just a connection, and it can be really useful for them. So I'm connecting people to help them. And I do that, of course, when they can help me, they will do, and they do it. So it's just my nature. I couldn't, I couldn't have a two business each approach.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you don't want to have a hardcore sales approach when you present yourself. You're there to help, but you're not there to promote yourself.
Yeah, because my company, what I am doing in my company, people need to trust me. They need to know me. They need to give me all the strategic information on their company. So that's why most of the times I sign a non-disclosure agreement. So, we need to know each other before we work, because they are talking to sensitive information about the company. They are giving me everything, They need to be transparent with me if they want me to help them in the strategy. So it takes time to know each other. So first, I'm not selling anything. I'm just trying to help. If I can help, I'm happy. And then one day, when we know several people in common, and when they have heard about my work, and then one day they will come back if they need me. That's it.
Yeah, I really like what you said here, because I think that this is something, Nomad Nation, that we can all benefit from. This simple, concept that networking is not about selling, it's about creating relationships. And this is what you've been doing by having this pure principle of you're just there to help. And you said something very important. The first thing you do when you meet people is you make them speak of themselves, and you listen to their story. And I think this must have been one of your secrets of success, is that you listen and you let people express themselves. Everybody loves to speak about themselves, and they're giving you all the information you need to do the business without them actually realizing it. So listening and being interested is the first point, like you said. And you said something else is, how useful it is to be there. We're always happy when people connect us. But I think one of the other secret of networking is to connect people. And people are very grateful when they know that you've been connecting them. And that duplicates your power of, in a community, when they know that you're the one who can introduce them to the right people. And very, very good tips that you gave us here. The third thing is time. You mentioned time. The fact that we have to be patient, and it's not something that happens overnight. So thank you very much for that. Those three takeaways are very powerful. And
talking about time, I would add the word resilience.
Yes.
Resilience, I've heard that recently, and that's totally true. When you are an entrepreneur, you need to be resilient, because you have successes, you have failures also, and sometimes you just need to be patient and to trust in what you do. You believe in what you do. If you believe in what you do and you don't give up on the first bump of the road, and you move on and you continue doing what you do, if you have this resilience, I think you can really succeed on a sustainable way.
Yeah, and I think resilience is also, not being crushed at the first rejection or the first negative result.
Yes.
Is to stand up and continue. And when we start a business, there's so many no's we have to go through to get a yes. And I think this is what you've been saying about resilience, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's very, very good point. So tell us, how did you, once you created your network and you were very good at it, the business at one point comes in. So how do you sell at some point you do need to sell yourself and your services and present them. So do you have any practical tricks that you, or habits that you have when you present your work and your skills and your services?
I always begin with a client brief. That means we officially meet to talk about the challenge they have. So, and I don't talk about myself or the company or the work I'm going to do. I'm just hearing about it. And then I come back with a proposal. Usually I show them that I can be an expert on their market. So, I give a little insights about the market trends. So they have a proof that I can be good at it. And then I set up like an action plan, like a method. to tell them, I'm going to do that, and this is the deliverable you will have. This is the second deliverable you will have. Because I'm doing marketing, it's strategy marketing, but it's rational. It's not, talking about a concept or a campaign and then doing a social media campaign. I'm doing a market study, so it's strategic planning, strategic recommendation, etc., etc. Everything is rational. And I'm saying that today because I realized that we are all working differently. And my difference, maybe one of my differences is that I don't know, but I'm doing concrete marketing. And maybe it's more reassuring.
You mean compared to your competition, you are much more practical than your other consultants, right?
Yeah. We need creativity, of course. But sometimes when you bring rationality into that, you can make the difference.
Interesting. Very. Actually, Nomad Nation, just in case, we're not all in the marketing and communication sphere. And this is something that I did bump into as a challenge too, in terms of consulting. When we sell a service that's not concrete, that's not like, for example, you're a social media person and you do say, okay, I'm going to bring you 500, 1,000 new likes for your page. That's very concrete, it's very operational. But the jobs that you and me do is consulting companies and building a strategy and understanding their market, which is sometimes not very concrete. There's a lot of gray material. It's all about the brain and how we analyze things, etc. So I like the fact that you transformed something that's very subjective, that's not subjective, but that's not visible, into something that's visible. Is that what you were trying to say?
Yeah, it's something that you can measure, something that you can, I don't know, Of course, we need to be good at creating a concept, Amel, because, like me, we need to, you need to create a brand, you need to create an insight, you need to create a universe, but when you're dealing with the founder of a company that is not always a marketer, you need to speak their language. And so because I'm not I'm working for entrepreneurs and also already existing companies, but most of the time when you are doing strategy, you're not working with a marketer, the marketing director or others. You are working directly with the owner. And the owner, you need to speak about the business, you need to speak about the market. And you need to make them understand that what is a brand, and how you build a brand, and what are the concrete actions to reach that goal.
Yeah.
So, it's the way I do it.
That's a very good point, yeah. And tell us now more about, because one of the, I think, challenges when we start a new business, and especially when it's not a product where we can't really compare it to other concrete products, is how to settle our price point. So how did you manage to find what was your price point on the market?
I've heard about some competitors' rates. I compare my daily hourly rate to my competitors I know, and to my partners also. So I'm just have an idea of the average price, and I know how much usually my type of clients are ready to pay. So I just found a balance between those parameters.
That's good. So what was your biggest challenge when you launched your business?
Starting from scratch and not speaking English so well. So not a lot of network, nearly, not network. And just beginning with a few people I knew and I had interviewed before, that's it. And not speaking English so well, yes. Yeah. So, it was a big challenge. And,
What did help you go through those challenges?
To go for it, just live here and then you speak better English time after time, day after day. So that's okay. In a few months, I was more self-confident about my English, and I totally admit now that I won't lose my French accent. So I'm just
Don't lose it. It's your
Yeah.
asset.
yeah, but I don't know, maybe I don't know, but I assume it now. I have it. I keep it. And about the network, I did all I could to develop my network in my way. So trying to help the others, like I have been helped in the past. And now it pays, so that's really nice. I'm still doing it, even if maybe you always need to network. But I'm, for example, the local contact for my business school students, so they can contact me and ask me about, everything in California. They want to try to come as trainees, to find a job here. I'm mentoring someone officially through my alumni students network. And I'm always trying to connect people if I can connect them. I also created a new French network.
Yeah.
That maybe we'll speak later. But so I'm trying always to build things in my way.
Yeah, and I think it's important what you brought up, the French cluster that you created. And there's something else about what I love about expat partners that have succeeded, and most of them did manage at the end to create a network, but then also once they realized what was missing in the market, what there were, is that they end up creating something else that would help other people that's not out there. And this is what you've done with French Cluster.
Yes, it is. I joined the group. They were already thinking about it, but they didn't have figured a way to, make it concrete. So there were a group of 4 people, and I came to the first meetings, and then we realized we wanted to create something new, not compete with the other French networks, but we wanted to do something differently. So we can still be in the other French networks here in LA, but we created something that maybe can be scalable. So today we are launching it in LA, and it's a non-profit corporation. But we would love that one day there will be one in New York with you, Amel, maybe.
Yeah.
And in San Francisco, we already know people there interested. The purpose is to be a pool. We are building this team, and we try to help French people to guide them if they want to come to LA. So there's a lawyer, immigration lawyer, real estate, residential broker. There is a financial advisor, taxis advisor too, a marketer, a video producer, and a photographer for corporate photos. A concierge service, anything you could need if you want to set up here. And the difference is that we want to create something good to help the others and something free. So, of course, we can sell our services to the people, but we will also give free stuff, like free content, like video webinars, workshops on site for French people here, articles on the blog, always written by someone working in this universe, and we don't pay to be here. So that means we are already chosen for our skills. We don't just pay a membership and then we have an article. It's a completely different approach. I love helping people. If I would not be helping people, I would be sad. I would feel lonely, because you are alone when you create a company.
Yeah.
You meet people they don't trust in you. You meet people they are hypocrites. You meet people, so nasty people everywhere. So I'm just trying to surround myself with this positive energy. And as an entrepreneur, I don't see my entrepreneur career just playing alone or playing just with my team and trying to compete to everyone. When I meet a competitor, I'm happy to talk about the market, just to connect. It's my way of of being is
It's a great philosophy. I'm very happy that you're here to inspire us with this very important message that you're sharing with us. And I always like to say, you know, my motto is let's share more than what we sell. And this is exactly what you're doing. You're sharing more than what you sell. And this is what's making your success at the end of the day. And the success is not just financial, but it's your own happiness because you're happier when you help.
Yes, it is. And I am lucky to be, supported from some people trust in me strongly, like my husband, like my family too. It's really important, and some close friends, because it's not easy every day, to be honest. Also, but if you believe in what you do, you go further.
Exactly. If you believe in what you do, you'll go far. That's really good.
If what you are doing has a meaning for you, you go further.
So, Nomad Nation, do you understand why Bérengère is my mentor and I'm so inspired by her?
Thank you, Mel.
Is there anything else that you think has helped you, besides that, reach the stage where you are today?
Maybe I can add something. Is when you have mentors, it helps even more. A mentor is not. You can ask someone to be your mentor. Sometimes it's just de facto that they are a mentor and they don't know themselves. Like you told me about me for you, and I was, really happy to hear it. I'm talking about, for example, Frank, a guy in real estate here, that made me discover his job. Finally, I didn't do it, but he made me discover the city, the rules, that saved me a lot of time. And this guy has been really inspiring for me. And I don't know, it's just a story of connecting to some of the people. There is another one, Julie. Mm-hmm. I have been working for her. Julie is a really brilliant marketer. And, I never told her, but she's my mentor too. She inspired me so much. She told me so many interesting things I couldn't think about all by myself. So she taught me a lot of things. She doesn't know, but she did. And, people you find all the way on the side of the road that, go with you a little bit and transmit you something really precious. These mentors are really important in your professional life. So that's why I'm proud to be a mentor myself, if I can, today, because these people have inspired me. But Francis and Saatchi also, because he taught me the job. Or Michel, always present, always trusting in us. And that's really important, to have someone always trusting in us, in ourselves. Yeah. So
I just want to precise Francis and Michel. Francis is the CEO of Saatchi and Saatchi in Lyon, and Michel is his executive assistant. And these two people, I just want to say a real quick hi to them, because they really did inspire us when we were working together.
I totally agree. Yes, I totally agree. And of course, all the people we have worked with too. It's just that all these people made us like we are now. They help us to build ourselves. Yeah. And it's really important just to be to have gratitude with this idea that people give you, you don't know it, you don't expect it, and they just give you inspiration, and you go further.
Definitely. And I would like to add something to that, is that not only it's very important to find mentors, but it's also important to learn how to learn, to be coachable, to be teachable, and to actually spend the time observing what other people do. Like I did observe you, Bérengère. This is how you never knew that you were a mentor, because I've been observing you. I've been looking what you were doing. It's not so much a proactive thing to also be a mentor or to have a mentor, to find one, is keep our eyes and ears open constantly to what other people are doing. And this is what actually led me to podcasting, for example. I have a mentor online. He doesn't even know he's my mentor, but I'm following what he's doing and learning from him. So finding a mentor is not just one person, but a series of people also who inspire us and from whom we can learn. So it's very important to stay alert and to not always think we have it all, we know it all, but that we constantly challenge what we know to learn further and further and further.
Yeah, totally agree with you, Amel.
Yeah.
Totally.
So thank you so much, Bérengère. I would love to continue this conversation even longer.
Yeah, me too. Thank you, Amel, for your really interesting podcast. It's really interesting.
Thank you so much for being part of it. And I would like to make sure that we can reach you. So tell us, how can we find you if we need your services, Bérengère?
I have a website. So it's creavilia.com, creavilia.com. I'm also on LinkedIn, Bérengère Ferrier, Ferrier.
Wonderful. So Nomad Nation, do not hesitate to check out Bérengère's website, creavilia.com. And also if you're French and want to figure out how to, reach as much success as Bérengère has just done in California, so check out the French Cluster website, which is frenchcluster.com, Bérengère?
Yes, it is, frenchcluster.com.
Frenchcluster.com. Fantastic. Bérengère, thank you so much for taking the time. I know you have a busy day, and I'm looking forward to many more adventures with you.
Likewise, Amel, thank you very much for doing everything you do for expats.
Nomad Nation, don't miss any of the great inspiration, tips, and insights that will prepare just for you. Go to tandemnomads.com and sign up for the newsletter.